guys, it's me again, and welcome to one of the 400 subscribers specials, which is showing off the types of brushes I use in Ibis Paint. Now, this was suggested by Holiday Mo or Most Game Shows, and this is just, they wanted to see like what different brushes I use and say I could use it for a 400 subscriber special. The reason why I say it's one of the 400 subscriber specials is because I'm actually working on an animatic, and this is the one I've been like, it's just a silly one, and it's the one I put the most effort into and taking me a long time, so I decided to make another 400 subscriber special. So yeah, so here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different like brush categories. We have this, what I use for my sketch, what I use for my line art, what I use for my shading, the base color, which is just like coloring it in, my eraser, and blur and smudge, because I know you can change the brushes on that, but those ones are mainly just the default. So first, let's start off with the sketch. Now in this sketch category, we have two different like subcategories, like the ones that are free and the ones that you have to pay or watch an ad to do. Normally, I just use the free one, which is the Soft Falcon pen in Bleed, because it does really well. I feel like it's textured enough, and like I usually make like a little opacity and change it to different colors so that I can see everything well. That's why it's like blue right now. And this is what I usually use because I'm lazy and I don't feel like watching an ad right away. However, if I'm not feeling lazy and I watch an ad, I will use this brush and these two ones, which are Mechanical Pencil number 1 and the Pencil Mod number 1. Here, let me actually change this color. And I just use those to make like finer edges, make it easier to see like what I'm doing. So let's say I have like a messy sketch, and then I'll use that, and then I'll like make it cleaner. But I don't really do that most of the time, just because I just don't feel like watching an ad. So yeah, really good, recommend those. I would actually just recommend anything that's just textured, really, that you can see, because it just kind of reminds me of a pencil, but it's like easier to see with all the texture bumps. So yeah. Anyways, here's the line art. Now we also have the free and the pay/watch. The pay/watch one is more of like the extra stuff, like the glitter, the beads, and any other like, here. Let me get the brushes. Oh crap, you guys can't see it. But it's just like any other like different ones. So this is for the general line art. I changed. These are all the line arts that I have used. The soft mapping pen one is the one I use currently right now. I used to like, before, like I used to use the dip pen, and you guys might have noticed me slightly changing it because I like the smoothness. That's what I'm using right now here. I liked how it was sharp and smooth, but I was also trying to look for something a bit more textured, but not too textured. Also, because whenever I like use the liquify tool on it, it would like kind of get fuzzy, and I didn't like that. But when I use the liquify tool on the soft mapping pen, it gets fuzzy, but it's not so bad that it's like blurry and like the line gets thinner and it's like really difficult to control and it looks messy. I tried transitioning to the glass pen because I couldn't find one that like I didn't really like the texture too much, and that's when I realized the glass pen like wasn't helping me much. So, but then I started using the soft mapping pen, and or the Orla picture, the monster picture, that not really monster but creature, the OC I made. Orla is when I started using the soft mapping pen. I just like the textures. Oh, it's the soft mapping pen in the Bleed one. Usually the soft ones are just that I use are in Bleed. So yeah, it gives up like enough texture, but not like too much. I just feel like it's just right for me. And these ones I included in the line art because that's like, it's usually in like sort of like the line art like layer of the group, is the glitter, which is when I add the sparkles to the eyes. So like we have the eye, then I would use this brush to add the different sparkles to it. So I just use glitter number 2 and add. That just works for me. You can use whatever glitter or sequins you want though. And then I include the beads one because this and normal, there's 2 types of beads normal and I forgot what it's called, but it's like when you move like the beads itself change size. So they're all the same size, but if you use the other brush, it would be like different sizes, if that makes any sense. And that's just the one I've used a lot of times in my drawings for like jewelry, like necklaces, the chain part on earrings. And then here we have all other object brushes, which was I was trying to show you, like when you look down in the object, I know you guys can't see it, so I'm looking here. There's like a dotted line, a dashed line, there's chains, hearts, there's even like trees. Here, let me show you one. Here we have pinwheel and like an outline. Let me go all the way down. Oh, this is one I've used before. I think it's this one. It's the grass. So yeah, that's what I mean by all other object brushes. Let me change back to the one I was just using. And yeah, that's what I use for line art. Next is the base color, which is what I just color in. I don't really use anything fancy since I'm just filling it in, so I usually use the felt tip pen soft or felt tip pen hard. It doesn't really matter which one. And of course I use the bucket tool. So that's just, that one's not really like fancy, it's easy. I just use that because it's like the easiest, and whenever you make it large, it becomes really large. Now for shading. What I've been doing for shading is that I've been using like I said, like felt tip pen soft, it's easiest, it's the largest. You can also use like felt tip pen hard. I just didn't decide putting it. I just didn't want to like write it again. But what I do is that I take like let's say doing the skin, I take the skin color, I get it and I darken it, and then I blur it, and then I lower the opacity. And I like also one thing I've been doing is that I've been using like multiply layers. The multiply settings, like sometimes overlay or even like add light to it. I've just been trying different stuff for shading, so that's what I've been doing. Oops. Things, I've been using 3 airbrushes: airbrush normal, airbrush triangle, and airbrush trapezoid 20%. There's like airbrush trapezoid 40%, 60%. I just use the first one. Mainly because it's just like easy and simple. It's like who hasn't used the airbrush for shading, honestly, in IBIS? And I also use it whenever I want to shade, like say there's a ball. I use here, I'm actually gonna use it. We have airbrush triangle if I want to shade the darker edges, or if I want to make it like lighter. That's just how I've been using the airbrush to shade. Yeah, like it's saying, nothing really too fancy. And now, like the eraser and like the blur smudge, if you haven't know, if you like tap on the eraser like you do with the brushes, you get different brushes for it. That's what confused me a little bit at first. Eraser, I used like the dip pen hard, but not really much. I just put there, so I don't really use it much. I just use like the felt tip pen because like I'm pretty sure that one was the default one, and obviously it's like big, it's helpful, it's easy, as the rounded edges. So yeah. And then for the blur smudge, I remember when I first found this, I accidentally messed with it, so I might have changed it. So I'm just gonna see if let's use it. Right now it's set to the felt tip pen on soft, but when I look, oops, what are we on, blur? When I look, there's like also dip pen soft, which is like this, and I don't know, I use that and I can't tell if it's different or not, so I just put default because I use the default. Same with the smudge, it's set on airbrush triangle, but I'm sure that one was the default because I don't think I messed with that one much. So yeah, that's what I used the brushes I use in IBIS. That's just what works for me. These what works for you, and if you want to check these out, then yeah, I would recommend that. These are like really good using, obviously, like shading, base color, eraser, photo smudge. It's not really that interesting. What's interesting is like the sketch and the line art, because we also have the free and like the pay to watch one. So, or like pay or watch an ad to get it for free for like 18 hours or something. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Thank you guys so much for 400 subscribers, and stay tuned for the animatic I'm making. Bye!